Good morning, students. Now let us enter into fourth chapter. It is about refraction of light. In ninth class, we have studied another phenomenon connected with the light, that is reflection of light. Means when light falls on certain smooth polished surfaces like mirror or metal surface, light bounces off. That phenomenon is known as reflection of light. This is the light ray falling on a mirror. Here the mirror is a plain mirror and it bounces off. This phenomenon is known as reflection of light. We call these rays as incident ray, reflected ray, and this point is called point of incidence. And here if you draw a perpendicular line to the mirror, it is called as normal, and this angle is known as angle of incidence, and this is angle of reflection. In case of reflection, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection, whether it is a plane mirror or a spherical mirror. In all cases, angle I and angle R are equal. Okay, now what we are going to discuss in this chapter is another important phenomenon connected with light, that is refraction. This one is reflection and this is refraction of light. Let us see what is the meaning of refraction of light. When light enters from one optical medium to another optical medium, speed of light changes. Due to change in speed, direction of the light changes. This phenomenon is known as refraction of light. Let us see few examples. Light entering from air to glass. Both are optical medium. Meaning of optical medium is a medium through which light can pass. Glass, water, air, vacuum, all these are optical media. And another term, optical density. It is a term that measures how far light can be transmitted through a medium. A medium is optically denser, means through that medium light travels with less speed. Okay, then a rarer medium means through that medium, rarer medium means a medium having less optical density. It means their light can travel with more speed. So consider two different optical media, air and glass. First medium is air and second medium is glass. A light ray is entering from air to glass obliquely. This is the light ray. Whenever you draw the light ray, arrow mark is necessary. In correct direction, you have to put the arrow mark. So this is the light ray falling on the glass block. This is glass block and here air is the medium. Okay, and through air, light travels with a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This is the speed of light in air as well as vacuum. Almost the same. Actually in vacuum and air, speed difference is there, but it is very less. So it is ignored. We assume that speed of light in air and vacuum as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So this is the velocity or speed of light in air. Let me write it as V1. Then what happens when light enters into glass is, it can't go straight into glass. Instead, it deviates. Its path is getting deviated. This deviation or this phenomenon is known as refraction of light. The reason for this refraction is, while the light enters from air to glass, speed is changing. In a glass, velocity of light is 2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Not the variation, speed difference. Due to this speed difference, the path is getting deviated. I mean, light can't go straight into glass. This dotted line denotes the assumed path. This is the original path. Instead of going straight into glass, it deviates. Okay. Then, okay, the names given to these rays are, this is called incident ray, and this point is known as point of incidence, and this is called refracted ray. And at this point, if you draw a normal or perpendicular, we call it as normal. This normal means it must be at 90 degree with the surface of the glass block. Okay, then angle between the incident ray and this normal is known as angle of incidence. Angle between refracted ray and normal is known as angle of refraction. Angle between the original path, this is the original path, or this is the direction of incident ray. From this original path, the ray deviates through this much angle. This angle we call as angle of deviation. Delta is the symbol given for it. So, angle between the incident ray extended and the refracted ray is known as angle of deviation. Then, here air and glass, if you compare the optical density of air and glass, air is a rarer medium. Their speed of light is high, that means this medium is rarer, and glass is a denser medium. So, when light enters from a rarer medium to denser medium, its speed is decreasing. Reverse happens when light enters from a denser medium to rarer medium. Speed increases. Now, another point. This light ray, which we call as incident ray, it partially undergoes refraction. Means the full amount of incident light is not getting refracted. A small amount of light gets reflected also. So, this is the reflected part and this is the refracted part. And this reflected part we are ignoring because in this chapter we are mainly studying about this refraction. So, in all the coming diagrams, I will draw only this refracted ray, but don't forget, together with refraction, reflection also takes place. And in case of this reflection, this, as I told earlier, this angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. So, when refraction takes place, the speed of the light changes, direction changes, and there are some more factors that changes. Velocity of the, wavelength of the light also changes. Wavelength of this incident light and refracted light are not same. Okay, if delta 1 is the, lambda 1 is the wavelength of this incident light, wavelength of this refracted light will be lambda 2. Wavelength changes and the variation is same like velocity. Here in this example, velocity is decreasing, means wavelength also decreases. Okay, so while light enters from a rarer medium to denser medium, its speed or velocity changes. Changes means decreases. Wavelength also decreases. That means lambda 1 is higher than lambda 2. Okay, direction also changes. So these are the three factors changing while light enters from one optical medium to another optical medium. Once again I repeat, speed or velocity changes, direction changes, wavelength changes. But there is a factor or physical quantity that remains constant is frequency of the light. Frequency of this incident light if it is F, frequency of this refracted light also remains same. So remember, frequency doesn't change. Frequency of the light is determined by the source. From which source light comes, that source determines the frequency. So frequency doesn't change. Now let us see what will happen if a light ray falls normally on the glass surface. Look at the diagram. This is the glass block and here is the air medium, and light is falling normally on it. Look at the difference between these two diagrams. Here the incident ray was an oblique light ray. Here the incident ray is falling normally on the glass surface. In this case, what happens is the ray doesn't undergo any refraction. It goes straight. In this case, when light ray falls normally on a glass block, or when light enters normally means perpendicular from one medium to another medium, speed surely changes but direction doesn't change. Direction doesn't change but speed changes. So in this case, what is angle of incidence and angle of refraction? Here, angle of incidence, the definition you may be remembering, angle between the incident ray and normal is known as angle of incidence. So in this case, what is angle of incidence? The incident ray and normal both are same. So angle of incidence is 0. What about angle of refraction? Angle between the refracted ray and normal both are same. So angle of refraction is also 0. Okay, so this refraction happens only with oblique light rays. The light rays which are falling normally, they do not undergo refraction. Means deviation of the path is not happening. Then, so in this case, this is the case where I and R are equal. Angle of incidence and angle of refraction are equal in that particular case. What about this case? How the relation between I and R? Angle I is greater than angle R. When light ray enters from a rarer medium to denser medium, angle I is greater than R. Then when light ray falls normally on any surface, means angle I is 0. In that case, R is also 0. So I is equal to R. Angle of incidence and angle of refraction are equal in that case. Now let us see a third case. One more point. In this case also, if light is traveling from glass to air, suppose the incident ray is in glass medium, denser medium, and it is falling normally. Okay, in that case also it will go undeviated. So if light ray is falling normally, whether it is from rarer to denser or denser to rarer, in that both cases angle I and angle R are 0. Now we will see what is happening to an oblique light ray if it is traveling from denser to rarer medium. Look at the diagram. This is glass medium and outside medium is air. Okay. Incident ray is in denser medium. This is denser medium and air is rarer medium. Just we have taken the reverse case of this. Okay, in this case, look at how, you know, if you compare the speed of light in glass and air, in air light travels with more speed. means this is rarer medium. In this case, the ray will deviate away from the normal. That means look at the angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Here angle of incidence is less than angle of refraction. Just opposite of it. So the conclusion is, if light ray is entering from rarer to oblique light ray enters from rarer to denser medium, angle I is greater than angle R. If an oblique light ray enters from denser medium to rarer medium, angle I is smaller than angle R. Good. Next topic, laws of refraction. This law states that the ratio between sine angle of incidence to sine angle of refraction remains constant for a pair of media. That means sin I by sin R is constant for a particular pair of media. For example, here we have taken air-glass combination. You may take any combination. Okay, and this is angle I and this is angle R. For the same combination, if you change this I value, accordingly R value also will change. I mean, for different I, R will be different. But the ratio of sin I by sin R, if you find out for different I values, every time it will come as same only. Okay, the ratio of sin I to sin R is always constant for a particular pair of media, and that constant is given a name refractive index. Refractive index is a term that tells us how much the ray can bend while entering from one medium to another optical medium. Okay, and for refractive index, we use different symbols. The symbol used in your book is small letter n, and we write the pair of media on both sides of this symbol n. First media, that is air, we write on the left side. Second medium is glass, that we write on the right side. This is the way of writing refractive index in symbols, and you have to read it as refractive index of air with respect to glass. I mean, when you divide sin I with sin R, you are getting refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. In this case, sin I by sin R gives refractive index of glass with respect to air. And this symbol in different books, they follow different symbols. In some books you will see another symbol eta is written for like this, it will be written. And in this case also, the first medium and the second medium will be written on both left and right side. So different way the symbol can be written. Now then refractive index can be found out by the formula sin I by sin R. There are some other ways to find out refractive index of a pair of media. Another formula is, in this case, refractive index of glass with respect to air is the ratio between speed of light in first medium, that is air, upon speed of light in second medium, that is glass. Velocity of light in first medium is air, that should be written in the numerator, upon speed or velocity of light in second medium. This is another formula to find out refractive index of a pair of media. Velocity of light in first medium air upon velocity of light in second medium glass. It will give refractive index of glass with respect to air. If you want to find out refractive index of glass with respect to water, in this case first medium is water, second medium is glass. How will you find out refractive index of glass with respect to water by using the second formula? Formula will go like this: velocity of light in water upon velocity of light in glass. This is another way of finding out refractive index. Since refractive index is a ratio of similar quantities, it has no unit. Refractive index is a pure number. Then velocity can be written as the product of frequency and wavelength. For the topic I have studied in 9th class, velocity of any wave is the product of frequency and wavelength. V is equal to F lambda. F for frequency, lambda for wavelength. V means velocity. If it is so, velocity, this V1 is the velocity here, upon velocity here is V2. This V1 can be written as F into lambda 1. Similarly, V2 can be written as F into lambda 2. Since frequency is same, it can be cancelled. So you can find out refractive index of glass with respect to air by one more formula, lambda 1 by lambda 2. So here you have three equations to find out refractive index for any pair of media. One is lambda 1 by lambda 2, another one is V1 by V2, another formula is sin I by sin R. By using any of these three equations, you can find out refractive index for any pair of media. Now, refractive index of, we will discuss two terms, just you have to know the meaning of it: absolute refractive index and relative refractive index. Suppose you are finding out refractive index of glass with respect to vacuum. Next time you are finding out, that means first medium, here the first medium is vacuum, second medium is glass. Next case, you are finding out refractive index of same glass but with respect to water. That means in this case water is the first medium, glass is the second medium. Third case, you are finding out refractive index of same glass with respect to diamond. Means first medium is diamond, second medium is glass. So in all the three cases, suppose you are using this formula, that is velocity of light in first medium upon velocity of light in second medium, and finding out the refractive index. You know, it is sure you will get different values. Okay, even though you are finding out refractive index of glass in all the three cases, since the first medium changes, you will get different values. That means for every pair of media, refractive index is different. Whenever you find out refractive index of a material with respect to vacuum, that refractive index we call as absolute refractive index. Then, when we find out refractive index of any medium with respect to any other medium other than vacuum, we call it as relative refractive index. Means the term absolute refractive index is used only if the first medium is vacuum. Second medium can be any, but first medium must be vacuum. Then the refractive index what you are calculating is called as absolute refractive index, and the other cases it is called as relative refractive index. Then absolute refractive index, for example, you are finding out absolute refractive index of glass, means the formula what you have to use is velocity of light in vacuum upon velocity of light in glass, this formula. Okay, then do you know velocity of light in vacuum is 3 into 10, vacuum and air also it is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Slight variation is there, it is ignored. So, that is the highest speed light has. Okay, so when we use the formula here to find out absolute refractive index, the formula is velocity of light in vacuum upon velocity of light in glass. This is the formula to find out absolute refractive index of glass. See, the highest speed, light has highest speed in vacuum. So, in this case, this numerator will be higher than the denominator always. If you find out absolute refractive index of any medium, the numerator will be always same, velocity of light in vacuum upon velocity of light in given medium. So, this numerator will be always greater than the denominator. That means absolute refractive index will be always greater than 1. Since the numerator is greater than denominator, absolute refractive index is always greater than 1, but relative refractive index can be less than 1 also. Now let us see what is the meaning when we say a medium, an optical medium has high refractive index or low refractive index. Refractive index of glass with respect to air, its value is 1.5. You can see, you can use this formula V1 by V2. See, if you are finding out refractive index of glass with respect to air, formula is velocity of light in air upon velocity of light in glass. You will get it 3 by 2 when you do the calculation, that is 1.5. If you find out refractive index of water with respect to air, it is 1.3. Then refractive index of diamond with respect to air is 2.4. Let us see what does it mean. Some optical media are having high refractive index, some are having low refractive index. What does it mean? A medium has, we are referring this formula, refractive index of a medium is velocity of light in first medium upon velocity of light in second medium. This formula we are using. Okay. So, take the case of diamond. Okay, we are finding out refractive index of diamond with respect to air. Then the formula will be velocity of light in air upon velocity of light in diamond. That is the formula to find out refractive index of diamond with respect to air. Its value is high if you compare with these two. It means velocity of light in diamond is less. When denominator is less, value of the fraction increases. So, diamond has higher refractive index means velocity of light in diamond is less. In this case, Refractive index of water with respect to air. What is the formula? Velocity of light in air upon velocity of light in water. Okay, so among these three, that means among the three optical media, glass, water and diamond, water has low refractive or lowest refractive index, means light travels, velocity of light in water is least among the three. Light travels with the lowest speed among these three optical media, glass, water and diamond. So the meaning is, a medium has high refractive index, means through that medium light travels with a low speed. A medium has low refractive index, means through that medium light travels with a high speed. Okay. Now, refractive index of glass with respect to air, formula is velocity of light in air upon velocity of light in glass. Okay, then its value is 1.5. Okay, that means if you look at this part, you can write like this: velocity of light in air is 1.5 into velocity of light in glass. So refractive index of glass with respect to air is 1.5, means the speed of or velocity of light in air is 1.5 times velocity of light in glass. This is the meaning of refractive index. Refractive index of water with respect to air is 1.3. Its meaning is speed or velocity of light in air is 1.3 times the velocity of light in water. Refractive index of diamond with respect to air is 2.4, means velocity of light in air is 2.4 times the velocity of light in diamond. This is the meaning of refractive index. Now, about this high and low refractive index, one more point. Listen to one question. Where light bends more, in glass or diamond? While light enters, a particular light ray enters from air to glass or air to diamond. Suppose this is diamond. And same oblique light ray enters. You are asked to find out where it will bend more. I mean, the question is same light ray. I mean, this angle of incidence is same. I is same. And these light rays are initially traveling through air. And this light ray enters from air to diamond. And the same light ray, I mean, same angle of incidence here it has. It enters from air to glass. Will this angle of refraction be same, or where it will be more or less? How will you find out? The question is where the light ray will bend more, in glass or in diamond. You know something about refractive index of glass is 1.5 and refractive index of diamond is 2.4. Then for refractive index there is one more formula, sin I by sin R. Diamond has high refractive index, means this R value in diamond, in case of diamond, R value is less, denominator is less, that is why its refractive index is high. So R value in case of diamond, R value is less. Okay, so here this R value will be less. I hope you understood the reason. Once again I repeat. Refractive index of diamond and refractive index of glass, if you compare, it is high with the diamond. Refractive index is high means, how will you compare this I and R values? Okay, high refractive index means R value will be very low. So in case of diamond, the ray will deviate through less angle, the angle of refraction will be less in case of diamond compared to glass. So here in case of diamond, angle R is less than angle R in the case of glass. So which ray deviates more? In which case the ray deviates more? In the beginning I told how to find out the angle of deviation. Extend this incident ray straight forward. This angle between the incident ray extended and the refracted ray is known as angle of deviation. Here this is angle of deviation. So in case of diamond, the ray deviates through large angle.